Apartment construction's in the news of late, of course. We've had everything from Opal Tower right through to ABC's report on Monday covering the whole construction apartment market issue. We haven't even touched yet on building management costs, but that comes right now. Keep watching. Hey, and welcome to our third video in our series. Thank you for watching so far. We've got lots more to cover. We're focusing initially on the apartment market. You might have gained some understanding so far about some of the issues we've covered about building quality, about the process of the financing apartments. And today we're going to cover some issues around building management. So to help me with that, I welcome again Stephen McCarthy. Welcome, Stephen.
Thank you, Mark.
So building management, what is it? Why do we need it? What happens in an apartment space or a strata type space?
Okay, well, Mark, this particular topic comes as a result, I suppose I was prompted by an article I saw in the Financial Review last week. And the story there is this lady. She had bought into a fairly upmarket complex as part of her retirement plan. She bought off the plan, and a year or two after taking residence, she's getting alarmed at the size of the building management fees. And anyway, she does a bit of a dive into that, and so what she finds is that the building manager can increase the levy by 5% each year. Now, 5%, that's quite a big increase, and so she dug into, well, do we have to keep this building manager?
Right.
And let's replace them with somebody more competitive. But what she found was that the property developer had signed on behalf of the body corporate and all the owners of the building. When the property was being sold, the property developer signed a building management agreement with another company and committed the body corporate to a 25-year management term.
25 years. So let's just unpack that for a second there.
Yeah.
So these are called strata fees, building management.
Building
costs?
management, so
covers what?
Yeah, taking care of the building.
Okay.
If there's something wrong with the lift, you need somebody to look at that and arrange a tradesperson to come and fix that. That's what the building manager does. Okay. They don't necessarily walk around with the toolbox and fix things themselves, but they're the coordinator, and they charge the body corporate a management fee for their services.
Right.
Yeah.
So to this particular lady, what sort of dollars when she started in this exercise? Is this $1,000 a year or $10,000? What sort of money?
I don't specifically know the physical amount, but it was high to start with. But the 5% increases each year, she worked out what she's going to be paying over the 25 years and was astounded. Thinking, wow, this is a lot of dough. But the problem is, of course, they are locked into a legal agreement that they cannot get out of
for 25 years.
Yes, regardless of the service that's rendered to them.
Right. So, therein lies the issue, I guess, is you've got this noose around your neck, an albatross, for 25 years. You are stuck with it for as long as you own that property. Now, I mentioned before, one option might be just sell the property, sell it to someone else. But of course, that has to be disclosed on the...
Well, it does. Any incoming purchaser will take one look at the outgoings and think, oh, this is pretty expensive.
Right.
Now, I think what we really need to go to here is how did this come about?
Good question.
And that's one of the key points here, is that when somebody buys an apartment off the plan and they sign the sales contract, normally inside the sales contract is there's an arrangement to establish a body corporate. And the sales contract will normally allow for the developer to set up or enter into an arrangement on behalf of the owners of the building.
Right.
When the building is completed.
Okay.
Now, and that's so what most purchasers do, they sign what they call a proxy, allowing the developer to set the body corporate up. And now, once the developer can set the body corporate up, he or she or that corporation can choose anybody they wish to manage to have the building rights.
Okay, so the proxy effectively hands over your rights to vote to the developer, and now they're voting on your behalf.
Now, that proxy may only last for 12 months, 2 years, or 3 years. Now, and after that proxy's finished, the developer has no more say in running of the building. Okay. But if he is committed, the body corporate or committed has entered into a legal agreement on behalf of the body corporate, and that's a legal obligation that must be fulfilled.
So,
and this is the trouble this woman finds herself in, and everybody else in her building, is that they have this legal agreement to pay building management fees at an exorbitant rate for many, many years to come.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's suppose this building complex has, I don't know, let's say it was 300 apartments inside of this tower or this complex. Is it the case that often you might find that developers may angle themselves such that they have the lion's share of the voting control over a body corporate? Can you expand on some of that?
Well, again, exactly the same thing. When the property is under construction, the sales contracts will normally allow for a proxy vote to go to that developer. So he in turn can set up a body corporate and then vote on behalf of the body corporate. So all we're saying here with this is that if you are considering either as an investor or owner occupier buying it off the plan, we would strongly recommend that you bring up this subject with your lawyer and really fully understand exactly what is the developer proposing here in relation to your proxy vote, what can and cannot do. And I suppose the purpose of this video here is just sort of raise some awareness around this. Now, this is one of the reasons, full disclosure here, one of the reasons that we as an organisation have stayed away from the apartment market, because there's too many things out of our control. Now, our business has been for a very long time all about providing family homes on freehold land, whereas the owner of that land owns the land. They can do what they want within council reasons and
generally
regulation.
A lot more control.
Yeah, a lot more control over the quality of the construction for every stage on the way through.
The process of construction.
Yeah. Now, having said that, of course, there are trips and traps for the unwary players, as we certainly know in that market as well. Those trips and traps will be part of another series of videos we are planning to do around that. That's coming. Yep. But you've got your own block of land, and you have nobody coming over the top of you trying to levy these type of fees that we're talking about.
It's extortionate. So you mentioned off the plan, but this could also affect folk who are buying second-hand properties, right?
Well, they would inherit it.
Yeah. If they're not being aware of all the paperwork, all the contracts from the get-go, and hence, I guess the key point of today is saying, read the paperwork.
Yeah, and unfortunately, certainly a lot of solicitors I've come across in the past simply say things like, I look at the standard, the developer's not going to change it. And that very well may be the case, but I suppose it's a matter of, eyes wide open instead of eyes wide shut. And so again, just to recap, is that if you are investing in off-the-plan purchase, please look into that. Make sure you've got the answers to the questions that you need.
Good. Good. All right, well, thank you, Stephen. Again, another good insight. Please stay tuned. We've got a little bit more to come in this series. We're going to next time tackle, as Stephen mentioned, we're moving out of apartments and into houses and land. And as he said, there are some challenges with that process also. So stay tuned. We're going to uncover many of those things as we move forward. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions at all, please click on the link below and fire away. We're happy to be in touch and field your questions. No problem.
Oh, good. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
This cut is fresh.